Listen to me. Don't you dare drift off. Don't you dare let your mind wander. I need you locked in for the next few minutes, because this right here, this could be the difference between you staying stuck for the next 10 years or stepping into everything you were born to be. See, I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many times you've messed up. I don't care if you got a trail of mistakes behind you, so long it's embarrassing to look at. That's your past. We're here to talk about your future. And let me tell you something. Your future is hungry. Your future is waiting on you to get serious. It's waiting on you to stop playing small, to stop making excuses, to stop dancing around your own potential. But as long as you're still entertaining distractions, as long as you're still letting your feelings make your decisions, as long as you're still hanging around people who ain't going nowhere, your future is on pause. So I'm asking you, not for me, not for the person next to you, but for you. Give me your full attention. Don't just sit there and hear me. Listen to me with your soul. Because if you catch even one idea from this message, it could flip the entire trajectory of your life. So lean in, write this down, replay it later, whatever you gotta do. Because this isn't just another hype talk. This is about you finally learning how to focus on your future so you can become everything they said you'd never be. Now let's get into it. Some of you right now are prisoners. You don't even need bars. You don't need chains because your mind is already locked up. You're not stuck because of your circumstances. You're stuck because of your memories. You've been dragging around guilt, shame, disappointment, old heartbreaks, old failures for so long that it's become normal to you. You've been replaying the same scenes over and over. And what you don't realize is every time you replay it, you reinforce it. Every time you bring it up, you breathe new life into something that should have been dead and buried a long time ago. Let me tell you something real quick. Your past is over. It's done. It's history. The only power it has is the power you keep handing it every day. I know it hurt. I know it was unfair. I know you made choices that you wish to God you could go back and undo. But you can't. You can't rewind life. You can't hit edit and cut out the scenes you're embarrassed by. You can't scrub it clean. What's done is done. And I'm not here to minimize your pain, but I am here to tell you, if you keep feeding it, if you keep nurturing it, you're robbing your future to keep your past alive. Some of you can't step into what's next because your hands are full clutching what was. You're so consumed by what if, by if only, by I wish I had, that you can't see the opportunities right in front of you. Your blessings are here, your doors are here, but you're standing there, eyes glued to the rearview mirror. And let me ask you, have you ever tried driving a car looking backwards the whole time? How far do you think you'd get? How long before you crash? That's exactly what some of you are doing with your life. Your focus is in the wrong direction. You keep saying things like, this is just how I am because of what happened, or I can't trust people because they hurt me, or I can't be successful because I messed up too badly before. Listen to me, your past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. It's supposed to teach you, not trap you. Yeah, maybe you grew up in a house where nobody believed in you. Maybe you dropped out. Maybe you betrayed someone's trust. Maybe you failed big time, okay? Own it. Learn from it. But stop living there. You got to decide right now that your past is not your prison sentence. It's not a life sentence. It's not your identity. It's a chapter in your book, but it's not the whole story. And the truth is, you're the author. You can pick up the pen today and start writing a brand new page. But you can't do that if you're still scribbling over old paragraphs, trying to rewrite them. Let them go. Let the ink dry. Close that chapter if you have to and open a fresh one. I know it's not easy. I know it's tempting to keep rehearsing your losses, to keep telling your sad story, because sometimes that story is all you've known. It's comfortable in a twisted way. It gives you a reason for why you're not further along. It lets you off the hook. But I need you to grow past that comfort. I need you to get so hungry for what's ahead that what's behind you doesn't even matter anymore. I need you to be willing to say, yeah, that was me, but that's not me anymore. I'm evolving, I'm moving, I'm growing. Because here's the truth. You are not the same person you were back then. You've got new wisdom now. You've got new scars that taught you lessons. You've got new desires burning inside of you that weren't there before. The person who made those mistakes, they didn't know what you know today. They didn't have the clarity you have now. So stop judging your future by the limitations of your old self. You've leveled up. Act like it. Stop letting people hold your past over your head too. Some folks only know how to see you through the lens of who you used to be because it makes them comfortable. It keeps them from having to confront their own lack of growth. Don't get stuck trying to prove anything to them. Don't waste time explaining how you change. Just show them. Live it. Let your progress speak so loudly they have no choice but to accept it or fall off. The way you keep it moving. And some of you, you're holding your own past against yourself. You've forgiven everybody else but you. You walk around free on the outside, but shackled on the inside because every time you try to dream bigger, every time you start to believe again, that little voice pops up and says, who do you think you are after what you did? Let me tell you who you are. You are somebody who's still here, somebody who didn't quit, somebody who woke up today with another chance to get it right. And that means your past didn't beat you. You're still standing. That alone is proof that your story ain't over. So stop reading the same old painful chapter. Turn the page. Start building a new narrative for your life. One where you're not the victim, you're the victor. One where you're not defined by what broke you, but by how you bounce back. One where your past is just the fuel for your future, not the anchor holding you down. So from this moment on, I want you to promise yourself no more living backward. No more letting yesterday's failures poison today's opportunities. No more giving old wounds power over your new dreams. Your future deserves better. And so do you. Let me break it down for you because I want to make sure you catch this. Your future's not built on what you hope for. It's not built on what you dream about at night. It's not even built on the vision board you stuck on your wall. It's built on what you do every single day when nobody's watching. It's built on the stuff you repeat so often, it becomes second nature. It's built on your habit. And the crazy thing is, most people will spend hours fantasizing about the life they want, but they won't spend 5 minutes checking if their habits actually match that life. See, everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to be fit, wants to be wealthy, wants to be respected, wants to be happy. That's easy. It costs you nothing to say, I want it. But when I look at your daily schedule, when I look at how you spend your mornings, your afternoons, your nights, do those small actions line up with that big dream? Because if your habits contradict your goals, you're never going to get there. That's like trying to drive to California while your GPS is set to take you to New York. It's not about what you say you want. It's about what your habits are taking you toward. And some of you right now are stuck because your habits are betraying you. You say you want to be disciplined, but you keep hitting snooze. You say you want to start that business, but you binge hours of Netflix. You say you want to be in shape, but your kitchen looks like a candy store. You say you want to be confident, but your mornings start with scrolling social media, comparing your life to everybody else's highlight reel. Your habits are voting every day for the person you're going to become. So the question is simple. What future are your habits building? I need you to get serious about this. I need you to understand your habits are not little things. They're everything. They're the bricks. Every day you lay a brick. The question is, are you laying bricks for a mansion or for a shack that's going to crumble when life gets tough? Are you laying bricks in the direction of your purpose, or are you just stacking up distractions that look fun today but cost you heavy tomorrow? And don't get it twisted. This isn't about perfection. This isn't about waking up at 4 a.m. for Instagram reels or eating kale for breakfast just to flex. This is about alignment. This is about looking at your goals and asking yourself, what habits actually support this life I keep saying I want? Because wanting it isn't enough. You got to work for it. You got to sacrifice for it. You got to build your days in such a way that the results become inevitable. And let me be even more real. If your habits are average, your future is going to be average. If your habits are sloppy, your future is going to be sloppy. You can't outdream your habits. You can't outhope your habits. Your life is a direct reflection of the standard you keep every single day. That's why you can't just do something once and expect your life to change. You don't get strong by going to the gym one day. You don't get smart reading one book. It's about stacking small wins over and over until they transform you. But most people don't want that. They want instant, they want results without the repetition. And that's why they keep quitting, because they try for a week, it gets hard. They don't see the payoff, so they give up. Listen to me, discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when it doesn't look like it's working yet. It's planting seeds in silence. It's staying consistent long enough for momentum to kick in. You got to start loving the process more than the prize. You got to start taking pride in the boring stuff, the way you wake up, the way you plan your day, the way you invest your time, the way you hold yourself accountable when nobody's checking. That's where the real work happens. That's what separates the people who kind of want it from the people who refuse to live without it. And I know some of you might be thinking, but it's hard. I don't feel like it most days. Of course you don't. Neither does anybody chasing greatness. That's why you got to build habits. Because habits don't rely on feelings. Habits are systems that run even when your emotions don't want to. Your feelings will lie to you. Your habits keep you anchored. Your feelings say, stay in bed. Your habits say, get up, we got work to do. Your feelings say, this is too much. Your habits say, we do this daily. It's who we are now. So if you want your future to look different, you got to build habits that demand a new level from you. Habits that stretch you, habits that make you uncomfortable for a while because they're rewiring your whole mindset. That's how you change your life, not in one big leap, but in 1,000 small disciplined decisions that stack up over time. And let me tell you something beautiful. Once those habits take root, once they become automatic, that's when it gets fun. That's when you start seeing progress that feels effortless. Because the hard part is already behind you. You don't think about whether to show up anymore. It's just who you are now. And that's when your future starts to unfold in ways you never imagined. So look at your life, audit it. Where are your habits taking you right now? Be brutally honest. And if the answer scares you, good. That means it's time to shift. It's time to tear down the habits that are building a life you don't want and start constructing routines that pull you closer to the life you were born for. Because your future is counting on the bricks you lay today. Make sure you're building something worth living in tomorrow. Let me get right to it. Your future is too valuable to hand it over to people who don't even care where their own life is going. Some of you keep asking why you can't get ahead. Why you keep sliding back into the same old patterns, why your fire dies out after a few weeks. And you're looking for deep reasons inside yourself, which is good, but what you don't see is that some of it is because of who you're connected to. It's the people you keep close. It's the conversations you entertain. It's the circles you run with. You might not want to hear it, but I'll say it anyway. Your future is being shaped every single day by the people you spend the most time with. And let me make it plain. You can't build a championship life hanging around people who are content losing. You can't soar like an eagle if your flock is a bunch of pigeons scratching around for crumbs, satisfied with mediocrity, always complaining, always doubting, always telling you to slow down, calm down. Stop dreaming so big. Some of you have anchors tied around your ankles, and they're spelled Friends. Some of them are family, some of them are coworkers. People who love you just enough to keep you small, to keep you comfortable, to keep you familiar, because your growth threatens their comfort. And I'm telling you, you've got to decide if your future is worth more than their approval. I know it's tough. I know it's lonely. I know it feels cold sometimes when you start stepping away from people who've been with you for years. But hear me. Loyalty to your old circle at the cost of your destiny is not loyalty, it's self-sabotage. Some of you are so afraid to be alone that you'd rather shrink your dreams to fit the people around you than elevate your life and risk standing by yourself for a season. But that season of standing alone might be exactly what builds your character, sharpens your vision, and makes you strong enough to handle where you're headed. Pay close attention. People either pull you forward or pull you backward. There's rarely a middle ground. You think you can just stay neutral, hang out, not absorb anything, but energy is contagious. Mindsets are contagious. Standards are contagious. If your circle laughs at discipline, mocks ambition, spends all their time gossiping or chasing distractions, guess what? Over time, you're going to start drifting that way. It's subtle, it's slow, but it happens. And by the time you wake up, you're a watered down version of who you were supposed to be. You need people in your life who are as hungry as you. People who hear your crazy dreams and don't laugh. They lean in. People who hold you accountable, who challenge your excuses, who remind you of your standards when you're tempted to settle. That's how you protect your future. That's how you keep your habits aligned. That's how you make sure your past doesn't creep back up and define you all over again, by walking with people who are heading the same direction. And please don't twist this. This doesn't mean you cut everybody off and start acting like you're better than them. This is about priority. This is about who gets your prime time, who gets your emotional energy, who gets to plant seeds in your mind. Because whoever has your ear has a piece of your destiny. And if you keep letting people with small mindsets speak into your big future, don't be shocked when your dreams start shrinking to fit their comfort zone. I want you to take a hard look at your relationships. Who's really adding value to your life? Who's really helping you stay focused on your goals? Who's pushing you to be disciplined with your habits, to heal from your past, to stretch beyond what you think is possible? And on the flip side, who's distracting you? Who's always pulling you back into the same drama, the same old habits, the same old comfort zone that's kept you stuck for years? Be honest about it. Because sometimes the hardest person to fool is yourself. And let's flip it one more time. What kind of friend are you? What kind of energy are you bringing into your circle? Are you someone who lights a fire under people, who encourages them, who holds them to a higher standard? Or are you the one who laughs when they try to change, who feeds their doubts, who co-signs their excuses so you don't have to confront your own? Because this goes both ways. You attract what you are. You can't expect to build with lions if you carry yourself like a lamb. Look, I know this isn't easy. It's tough to distance yourself from people you've known forever. It's painful to realize some people only loved a version of you that was broken, lazy, or aimless because that version didn't challenge them. But I promise you, if you're brave enough to protect your circle, to get intentional about who you let close, your life will start changing faster than you ever thought possible. You'll start thinking bigger. You'll start moving with more conviction. You'll start seeing doors open that you didn't even know existed because iron sharpens iron. And the right people won't just celebrate you when you win. They'll push you when you're tired. They'll remind you who you are when you forget, and they'll pick you up when you slip so your future stays intact. So don't be afraid to elevate your standards for your relationships. Don't be afraid to outgrow old circles. Don't be afraid to walk alone for a while until you find your tribe. Because where you're going is too important to drag dead weight along. Your dreams are too big, your purpose is too urgent, your future is too priceless to gamble it on company that doesn't believe in the journey you're on. If you want to get there, surround yourself with people who are going there too, and watch everything in your life start to shift. Listen to me, you're going to get tested. I don't care how passionate you are right now, how fired up you feel, how clear your vision is. There's coming a day when the journey's going to punch you in the mouth. Life has a way of seeing just how serious you are. It's easy to say you're focused on your future when things are clicking, when the doors are opening, when your energy's high and your results are instant. But what happens when it slows down? What happens when you're doing everything right and it still feels like nothing's moving? What happens when you're showing up day after day and the scale doesn't drop, the bank account doesn't grow, the business doesn't take off, your phone stays quiet? That's when we find out if you're really about this life. Most people fold under that pressure. They start talking themselves out of it. Maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe I was dreaming too big. Maybe I should just settle. That's exactly what life is hoping you'll do. Shrink, get small, sit down, stay average. But you can't let the temporary pain of discipline or disappointment make you forget why you started this in the first place. Your future demands that you keep your eyes on the bigger picture, even when the current picture is ugly. Because here's the truth, the process is never pretty. Growth is ugly. Success is inconvenient. Building anything worth having will break you down before it builds you up. It's supposed to. That struggle you're in, that's your training ground. That's life getting you ready for what you asked for. You said you wanted to be strong. How you gonna get strong without resistance? You said you wanted to be wise. How are you going to get wisdom without mistakes, without setbacks, without learning who you are under pressure? See, everybody wants the reward, but very few want the refinement. They want the blessing, but not the burden. They want the stage, but not the lonely grind it takes to earn the spotlight. You got to be different. You got to decide that no matter how long it takes, no matter how heavy it feels, you're not backing down. You're not going to let your current struggle make you lose sight of the promise. That's why it's so important to keep your vision in front of you. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Remind yourself every day why you're sacrificing, why you're saying no to distractions, why you're pushing through tired, why you're fighting old habits that keep calling your name. Because if you don't keep the bigger picture in focus, the small problems will eat you alive. You'll start magnifying minor setbacks until they feel like permanent roadblocks. I've seen too many people give up 1 inch from the breakthrough. They were right there. They've been putting in the work, building the habits, cutting off the wrong people, healing from their past. And then life threw a curveball, a bill hit, somebody betrayed them, they had a bad month, and they let it all go. They let temporary pain rob them of a lifetime of promise. Don't let that be you. Don't abort your future just because the present is hard. Your pain is temporary. Your destiny is forever. Keep your eyes on that. And understand, every time you endure something that was meant to break you, you grow. You level up. You prove to life, to the enemy, to yourself, that you can't be shaken that easily. That's how you get stronger. That's how you build endurance. That's how you build a foundation that can actually support the big life you keep saying you want. Because a lot of people talk about going to the next level, but the next level will crush you if your character, your discipline, your mindset isn't sturdy enough to handle it. The resistance you're facing right now, it's preparing you. It's stretching you. So your capacity matches your calling. So when it gets hard, and it will get hard, don't you dare start whining. Don't you dare start looking for sympathy. That's not going to pay your bills. That's not going to heal your heart. That's not going to build your dreams. You remind yourself, this is part of it. This is the price for greatness. And you keep moving. You keep your head up, eyes forward, and you keep doing what you said you were going to do long after the mood you set it in is gone. Because motivation fades. Hype dies. Feelings are flaky. But commitment, that's how empires get built. That's how legacies get forged. That's how futures get secured. And let me tell you something else. Sometimes the only difference between you and the people who make it is that they just refuse to quit. They didn't have more talent, more money, more connections, more luck. They just kept showing up. They kept building when it looked pointless. They kept believing when it felt foolish. They kept fighting when nobody was cheering. And one day, all the little unseen seeds they planted broke through the ground, and everybody called it overnight success. There's no such thing as overnight success. There's only relentless, unglamorous, painful consistency that finally pays off. So I'm challenging you right now. Hold your vision tighter than you hold your excuses. Let your future be louder than your fears. Let your dreams dictate your actions, not your discomfort. When it gets hard, don't look for the exit, look for the lesson. When it gets heavy, don't slow down. Adjust your grip and keep carrying it. Because your future is waiting on the other side of this struggle. Your family's breakthrough, your personal fulfillment, your financial peace, your influence, your legacy. It's all tied to you staying locked in when most people would have tapped out. So promise yourself right here, right now, that no matter what comes, you're not going to lose sight of where you're going. That you're going to fight for your future even on days you don't feel like it. Because the pain of pushing through is nothing compared to the regret of knowing you gave up on the life you were meant to live.